Vanderbilt, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina. At best, they go 6-4. I think at worst they go 4-6.
That sounds more likely, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough schedule.
I would give them their defense is still pretty solid. But offensively, I wonder what they're going to pull out. Bowdoin had that just crazy season. What do they do now? But I think they're capable. The Bowdoin thing proved they can move a guy in and create an offense for him. So,
and again, I don't want to besmirch Bowdoin because I think Bowdoin played well for them. But just kind of looking at their schedule last year, and they did beat two good teams with Bowdoin. They beat U of L, and then they beat Vatech in the bowl game. But I mean, Arkansas, Missouri, Vanderbilt, UT Martin, or some of his other W's. None of those teams are good.
Nope.
Yeah.
He led the SEC in rushing. What's crazy is he actually led UK in receiving last year too. 348 yards receiving. So I mean, that just shows you how good, to Lugs' point, how good the defense was, because their offense was just totally just go single wing and just try to. And I think Terry Wilson will help them in that regard. Like, he's obviously more of a legit. I mean, he's a legitimate quarterback. To be fair to Lynn Bowden, he played kind of quasi quarterback, but he legitimately was a wide receiver playing quarterback. So,
have you guys ever noticed that schools with somebody's name in them, a man's name like Martin and Murray, are usually not very good at sports?
That's true.
That's only two I could come up with.
William and Mary.
William and Mary, yes.
At lower levels, that's not true because James Madison, year in year out, is pretty tough out.
Hey, what about Austin P? Is that a man or is that just somebody looking for a bathroom?
Well, there's always that cheer they have over there. It goes like this: "Let's go P." Hey, let's talk about the NBA. No one else is, so we might as well. Do you care?
No.
No. Why don't you care? Why don't you care?
I just, it seems like prima donna gone berserk for me. All those guys whining, about everything. I just am kind of like, shut up and play some basketball. That's my attitude at this point. Okay. So, plus just watching it, it's like they're playing in a cracker box. It just has no oomph to it. It's just, it's like they're playing half court or something.
Some have speculated the Bucks kind of gave it all up and they're not even trying hard. And they were like they are a 1 seed or were a 1 seed. And they kind of gave up and just said, we're not going to play. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
The problem is with the Greek Freak, he's all they got. Their secondary players, I mean, they're going to lose tonight, I'm sure. He's injured, and they shouldn't play him.
He's not. He's out. He's out
tonight.
Yeah.
Rolled the ankle.
Yeah. I guess to be particular for this playoffs, I'll just say, it hurts that one of your biggest stars gets injured in Antetokounmpo, but to be fair, Miami's just a better team. They just knew how to corral him. They know how to play defense around him. They don't really let him drive to the basket. They let him. Their defense is good enough that he settles for outside shots. Not to say he can't shoot outside, but they're more than happy for him just to shoot outside, shoot perimeter, where he should be trying to, kind of be like old school basketball where he's inside banging people, trying to get him in foul trouble. But anyway, I think the reason why Raiders are down, I'm sure there's other aspects, but this is the aspect to me. And obviously, I agree with their prerogative to move teams, every year or switch around. But if you are a fan base of a team, because obviously those are people watching, if you grew up watching a team, and if you have a good player, and if you're in a smaller market, why do you want to watch your team? Because there's a good chance they're going to leave.
Yeah.
So it leaves you. I mean, I think some of the enjoyment for people in like Portland is you have a great, like two great players in the backcourt in AJ McCollum and Lillard, who were drafted and still play there. So that's why I think there is like a lot of kind of love and fascination with that team. Is they're but when guys start moving around, like again, Paul George, a great player. Like who really cares about Paul George? Right. I mean, he skipped around from Indiana. Now he went to OKC and he signed a contract. Was like, oh, he's going to stay with OKC, and then he gets traded and moved to LA, where it sounded like he always wanted to be. Why, and it's just it goes against how people root for or have rooting or vested interest long term in sports. They root for a team usually. And I think the only way to enjoy the NBA is if you root for players, which is, I still think is just a unique concept that most people are never going to get behind, and I understand.
Plus, I think the bubble, isn't this some kind of exercise in psychology? If you think about it, it's like Groundhog Day every day. They're going to the same place. They don't get to go anywhere. They get up, they wake up, they go work out, they go play a game in a gym, they come back into the hotel. And this has been going on since July.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's so much different from what they're used to.
They did allow significant others, family to come down, so it kind of gave them something.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about that is that was for players, and I think refs were allowed one person in the bubble. I forget which coach for the NBA. I don't think any of the coaches were allowed significant others. So, like, coaches on all these teams haven't seen their significant other outside their phone or Zoom at all.
I think they changed that because what I've forgotten the coach that just said, it
was I believe it was Denver's coach.
Yeah.
Who do you think holds the record currently with all the players on riding the most times on Space Mountain? I mean, really, you think about that. They've got. It's a small world. How many times they've done that with their kids? They got to be world records in that stuff.
Well, the Lopez twins are like huge animation fans, so I'd say Brooke and Robin Lopez. I would say it's them. It's 1-2 on Milwaukee Bucks.
And that's our big endorsement of the NBA. Okay, let's talk about this other topic. Tennis star Novak Djokovic, the world's number one, got bounced from the U.S. Open for hitting a line judge in the throat with a ball. He hit it in anger after losing a point. Not his first flurry, but certainly costly, yes?
Yeah. Obviously, I don't think it was intentional.
No, it didn't look like it. I agree.
He was just frustrated, but he apologized. He shouldn't have done it. But that lady looked to be about 150 years old anyway. What was she doing
tennis,
out there?
Man. Come on, it's tennis.
She could have, if she had been like aware of her surroundings at all, she could have ducked out of the way. She's like, duh, boonk, come on.
How many fingers am I holding up? Can you see them now?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, lady.
Hopefully she's not injured, but I have to agree with Lugs.
She's okay.
Like, you couldn't. I mean, you can't with the resolution. You can't really see where her eyes are. One, how do you not see that ball coming towards you? I mean, I guess she had to be looking off somewhere else. She had to be. I mean, she couldn't. The ball couldn't be coming to her. It's like, oh, it's just the wind's gonna divert it or whatnot. Number two, again, I know how fast serves can go.
Yeah, they're 100 miles an hour.
Him back hitting it. How fast was that ball actually probably going?
On the Jugs radar gun, it was a 27, I think. I have no idea.
Was it legitimately?
No, I made that up. I just
okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I doubt it was going that. I don't know.
That wasn't a kill shot. I mean, he just, banked.
I mean, that's the thing. Look, obviously he's a world-class tennis player, but he flicked his wrist back. It couldn't have gone that fast. So I mean, it would have stung for a second, and you're like, that stinks.
So she didn't take into account the wind speed of the day, is what you're saying? She didn't factor that in?
Or she did factor it in? I'm just wondering, like, how the lady have like just a very, I don't know, like what he did was wrong, and obviously I'm just more fascinated with the aspect you're not supposed to. Is like, how did she not see? How was she that hurt? Like, she was like down on the ground for a long time. Like, I don't know.
Reflexes are bad, man. Reflexes of a dead cat she had.
That's why, and again, maybe you all watch more tennis than me. That's why usually those people in the back should be like just people like in their like 19 or 20.
Agile.
Like like, and also have like a dodgeball background.
Maybe be in shape.
I don't know.
Anyway. Athletic.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
But see, I go even further. You need to get rid of all those people. You electrify the in and out by all the lines. You electrify them, or put cameras to where it's obvious, and take out the human aspect of that. It's there. Agree. It's possible.
I agree with you up to a point. The electrified thing, I'm fine with. I think the problem I have with the camera thing is we've seen with other sports, them doing replay to decide if something's wrong or not. One, it doesn't always work out, and it kills the flow of whatever sport it is, because they'll take 7 to 8 minutes to
under the hood. Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ruined. Yeah. It's ruined it.
Well, go back to that Saints versus Rams playoff game. How and obviously they're like, well, the rules doesn't stipulate. It's like, oh my gosh, this is how in the hell can you say that's pass interference? It's pass interference.
Let's just take momentum out of the game altogether. Let's just do that.
Yeah. So.
Well, there you go. Hope the woman's good.
I hope she's healthy too.
Got hit in the throat.
Yeah.
What else do we have today? Anything else?
Oh, congratulations to Colin Kaepernick. He was added to Madden, the new Madden. He's not actually in the league, but you can play as him in the league, I guess, electronically on the video game.
Maybe he's in Texas with Josh McCown.
That's true. Maybe he's
at the Howard Johnsons.
Hojo.
Congratulations to Javion Clowney being able to dodge, having to do practice, get a decent payday for a year with Tennessee Titans. So,
yeah, you several signees like that this week. On this day, this is sports of yesteryear.
Yep, go ahead.
In 1894, Thomas Edison hired William Dixon to film the first ever boxing match at West Orange, New Jersey. James Corbett and Peter Courtney.
Well,
and James Corbett kind of left Peter Courtney worse for the wear. So that's my one and only quickie sports of yesteryear.
Our sports of yesteryear. Thomas Edison, the guy who made the light bulb, that guy?
Yeah, he made the film camera. He first film camera.
Oh yeah, those things, that horse is running in a circle thing. I've seen
that was my bridge.
No, it was your bridge.
Okay. It was the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay. Well, I think that might have to do it on that one, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
Sports and other stuff.
What? Dak Prescott is still playing in the AFC West. I'm good. So
saddle him up, Dak. It's time for Dak and Zach. Hey, we're brought to you in part by, let's see, Swendella Bread. At 3 a.m. when you're in bed, Swendella Bakers are baking bread. You can get a fresh loaf. Just stop in and ask for
fish, and he will recommend the challah.
Challah or challah. We are the Sport Weasels. Number one in something else, and number one with Mike McCarthy. We'll be here again next week, God willing. So long.